Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
What's up, y'all? Nathan back. Big Nate Sports Talk, Season 7, Episode 21. This episode, we're talking about the Washington Wizards. Before we get to the video, there's a few things I want to say up front. I'm trying to grind out these videos for y'all and trying to get Season 7 done. I've got I got to do the breakdown of the conference semifinals and then preview the Eastern and Western Conference finals. So 5 or 6 more videos and then we're good. So we're just going to talk about the Washington Wizards. It needs to be talked about. The elephant in the room, it was not a good season as I made a mistake on a typo of the banner here. Going into the season, a couple things I liked, a couple things I didn't like. I felt like there were times the Wizards were not really good at a lot of things. I think we had an issue about with egos. To see how Spencer Dinwiddie has been playing in Dallas, a new adjustment, him and Bertans, and you kind of see what the Wizards are. Injuries. I feel like I kind of questioned Wes Unseld Jr. and in certain situations, things that could have been addressed. I felt like that were not addressed. Definitely showed. I'm looking at a couple things that have to happen. I think we need to really kind of sit back and really truly ask the question, what is the true identity of the Wizards? Are we going to build through the draft? Like, what is our plan? That is the key. That's the first thing. What is the plan? What is our identity going into the offseason? Tommy Shepard's made it clear that he's going to use the combine and see what he can get in the draft. I really think that he should look for a point guard. I think he needs to look for a center. I don't think you need to go and get another wing player. I just feel like that's just not the key. It's not the answer. I think you've gotten Rory, and then Corey Casper. Last two drafts. So I mean, he's pretty much said that he's kind of given us what he's looking for. He wants to establish a foundation. The last 3 years, he's tried to build it. I mean, yeah, he has flipped John Wall, Westbrook for some potential there. I mean, Rory, Denny, Corey, you got David Gafford. So, I mean, I definitely do feel like, you're trying to build something, but when you take the training wheels off, like who's staying, who's not? Like, I think to me, like when you added Montrezl Harrell, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma, Aaron Holiday, Isaiah Todd, like that's what we got from Russell Westbrook. And then getting Spencer Dinwiddie. And then Aaron Holiday's going to Phoenix. Harrell went to Charlotte for Vernon Casey Jr. and Ish Smith. Like, I think getting trading Bertans and Dinwiddie for Porzingis, like, I do feel like that was probably the best trade they did. Now, I am one of those, I feel like the Wizards, I think they should do is move on from Thomas Bryant. I feel like Thomas Bryant just is not going to work. He definitely has I like love his energy, but can't stay healthy. He only had the 5 years that he's been here, he's only played one season where he's played 71 plus games. Like, out of that 5 years, he's only played 170 games. Like, we need guys on the court. The best ability is availability. And that's something Thomas Bryant has not shown us. And especially if you're trying to compete and you're trying to build a contender, you need every available body. This might sound weird, but I think you should bring back Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I do. averaged 13, had a little under 2 assists, played 30 minutes a game. Like, if you had to tell me who was out of between him and Bradley Beal come out their draft class, who was the better guard, Bradley Beal, but they both were. He definitely does give Washington, he gives him flexibility. I mean, he can defend the point that he can play the one. He can defend the 1, 2, and the 3. I do feel like, to me, he and Bradley Beal kind of can complement each other. But if you have Bradley playing the point, or him playing the 3, and have Kirk KCP at the 2, I think that's not a bad matchup. Now he's supposed to make $14 million. I mean, why not? I mean, he can space the floor. He's good. He shoots under 40% from 3. I feel like he can definitely create. He can help Bradley Beal create opportunities. Looking also too at a point guard. I like Ish Smith. I think he brings some veteran leadership, something that definitely lacked for me once John Wall left. I mean, it didn't work in Charlotte because, I mean, they had so many injuries. So I feel like they never really gave him an opportunity to really show what he could do. So I feel like, his ability to get to the rim and his size and his speed, like, especially to just dish the ball out when you're spacing the floor. I think that's something that the Wizards, they really love to. And then, I believe you can pick up Rory Hashimoto's option. So that'd be smart. And then, like, I gotta sit down with Bradley Beal. I'm just gonna be honest. Yo, man, you are a great player. We want to build the team around you, but you're the way you gotta take us from here to here. Now, I feel like with Westbrook, he played well. With John Wall, he played well, but I just feel like I'm just concerned. You give a guy that you're going to give him the money, and you see his injury history. The last year, he only played 40 games. The last 2 seasons prior to this past season, he's only played 117 out of 157 games. He only played 117. But it's based on how far Bradley Beal can take us. That's the key. Can he stay healthy? Now, which I believe he can, but my concern is you're going to have to figure out also, too, you're going to have to pay Kuzma, Porzingis. You have to pay some guys. But I feel like he probably is going to make somewhere around $40 million, Bradley Beal. Who knows? I really feel like you can get free agents. I really think it's all about how your team performs. Like, okay, 2016, great example, where we tried to get Kevin Durant and Al Horford, and instead we just went after role players, and that was not. That's something for another video. I mean, adding Dinwiddie was okay, but I feel like there's certain. I want to say this. I don't like the fact that I been hearing that people are saying that DC sports are cursed. I look at it like the market is just different. Again, when you're the market that Washington has, you're going to have a harder time to get free agents. You probably could only really get 1 or 2 good marquee free agents and then build the team around them. When you look at Washington, you would think John Wall and Bradley Beal were those 2 guys. I thought overpaying Nene and Gortat was a mistake, and then getting guys like Andrew Nicholson, which was not a good business decision. Iman Mahimi was not a smart decision to sign. But also, too, I look at, before Tommy Shepard, you had Ernie Grunfeld there. I mean, if you see something that's not working, you're not fixing it, that's a problem. But I'm looking at these other sport teams. I look at the Nationals. They won. The Mystics, they won. The Capitals, they won. It's just all about dynamics. I think there's more. I think you got to take more into it. I think if you have ownership that's willing to spend money. Number two, you got a front office that actually is trying to put together a winning team. That matters. You got to take those kind of things into consideration. But when you look at it, yeah, he's definitely going to have to figure some things out. Like, he definitely did a good job at the deadline to save some money and build draft capital. Like, I don't know what that draft line is going to look like. I'm hoping that we're somewhere in the top 10 again. I do. But it's going to be an interesting offseason. I do feel like they just won't have the money to spend. But I mean, they can make some things work, try to cut corners, but I don't know. Like Bradley Beal, like he can make $37 million in going into next year's season. And that could be like what, 245 for 5 years. So Washington's one of those you have to build through the draft. You have to get like one or two free agents and then build around them. That's kind of how the Wizards to me are. And then like what's on sale? I think there's some things that he's gonna have to work on himself. I feel like a couple things you got the consideration with him. I understand he had to deal with COVID. He lost his two best players this season injuries. And then I think, to me, you had a roster that was not this. Like, that's a lot Wesson still had to deal with. Like, my hope is that he's going into the offseason and really, really making a conscious effort to making his team better. I think if he does those things, I think he'll be okay. But I mean, his rookie head coach, I know I have to give him somewhat of a pass, but his offseason plan is he wants to center around communicating with his team, which I like that. I believe in the interview with Chris Miller, and he said that that's what he wants to do. And I want to see this offseason his development and how in the building relationship and building that rapport with not just the players but your coaching staff. Those are the things I want to see with the Washington with Wes Unseld. Now, if we're being honest, other than Thomas Bryant, I can see them possibly bringing back Thomas Satoransky. Raul Neto and Anthony Young, could see them letting him walk. Because I do feel like you're going to have to there's always some guys are going to have to go. I do feel like it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I think it really starts with the offseason, with the draft, and seeing what we can do in the free agency. I think those are the things. But I think the Washington Wizards, they need to do some self-reflecting, look in the mirror, figure out the identity, building a rapport, relationship with the players, figure out what Bradley Beal wants, if he was going to stay or is he going to walk, and take it from there. I think the Washington Wizards can be a playoff team predicated on the health of Bradley Beal, how far he takes us. And more importantly, let's see what in his second year as head coach, Wes Unseld can do. And also to Tommy Shepard. So we got these guys in here for. But I think that's what the Washington Wizards had to do in the offseason. So tomorrow's the draft lottery. I believe we actually are – see where we are in the draft lottery. I think it's like number 10. I think they're projecting us to go to number 10. But I know we were like not that great. Yeah, we're number 10. So we're right there in the top 10. So we can really – picks 1 through 14 will have the lottery. Please let it be a top 5 pick. The Washington Wizards will have a top 5 pick. Guaranteed. With that being said, I'm out. Have a good evening. Stay up.
Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.